sir. Rock and roll. Welcome to episode 1 of the Seeing-Double podcast. My name's Nathan.
My name's Nick. Cut that music, mother.
Today about some twin talk, I guess. We're we're both of us are twins, so makes sense to talk what the title a little bit. So where'd Seeing-Double come about?
Well, I'm seeing you and you're looking at me. We're identical brothers. Can't see us right now through this audio, but if you looked at us, you'd be a little scared, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, that's for sure. No, big boys, the Seeing-Double name kind of come obviously, you're Seeing-Double. So I guess some of the questions, Nick's got a few questions to tell me today, don't you?
Well, I guess I just prepared up some questions for this episode, that common questions as twins that we get. And, growing up that we would have got. And things that, sure. A lot of people see twins and they just think, oh, that's so cool. It actually is pretty cool. But,
and then there's some disadvantages, eh?
Yeah, there is for sure. And that one's looking like you ugly mug.
Oh, yeah. Get into that, why don't you? Yeah. All right, well, without further ado, Nick, what kind of questions you got?
Well, we'll start somewhere here. I guess, the biggest thing is, do twins always dress the same? We got that question a lot growing up. It's true, and we did at one point, right?
Was it much by choice? When you're growing up, to a certain age, I think we might have stopped wearing the same clothing. We started growing into that teenage phase, and we're I remember you always saying, "Man, I don't want to look like you." You get the same hockey jacket, and you'd be like,
well,
I don't want to wear it, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I guess that's in a sense that'd be something you want.
It's like when Mom used to dress us up as a kid. She'd get us the matching tracksuits or the matching t-shirts and shorts or something. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. People think twins like to look like the same, but personally, unless it's we're playing a joke or a prank on someone, I personally never liked dressing up to look like you, because a lot of people would mix this up and they'd call us by different names.
I don't recall. I can remember some school photos, and if I get a hold of some of those, I'll pop them up over the screen for you when we get our YouTube.
They're such
Twitch
cute
going.
kids, though, man.
Well, I do remember wearing we both had these matching Nike T-shirts in grade 4 or 3 or something like that, and anyways,
it's kind of funny because we get Christmas gifts.
And you get overalls. We have, those are times when you're younger, they do. But, as we grow up, you get older, and you get through your...
It always seems like our family would give us the same Christmas presents, except different colors.
I agree. So, people out there, I'm going to save you the hassle now. It might be easier at Christmas time to buy double the gifts and the same thing.
But it ain't funny.
Twins don't want the same thing, okay? They want something different. So, think that one when you're on your next wish list, birthday searching or Christmas.
One day we might dress the same, back when we were another thing is too is I always get asked have you ever tried to show up to your twin's job, or have you ever showed up to your
That's
brother's
That's
place of
thing.
employment or
That's
school?
another thing. So I believe back in grade, was it maybe 3 or 4?
I think it was 3 because I can remember.
This guy here tells me he's always been better at math.
Different classes.
Anyways, right? Yeah. So I go, man, I'll switch gym classes with you. So we
did
it
one day.
one
Gym
day.
and I went to math.
Yeah, he did my math test for me in elementary school, and I went.
You got away with it too, man.
You did, and I went and did.
Did run some laps for me.
Did run some laps for the boy, I guess. So. The teachers did notice.
They did find out.
They did find out, but I don't think we got too much trouble for it.
I think they just kind
of laughed it off a little bit. It was the first time then, so eventually I think I got to rewrite the math test. And
so it brings me to that double the trouble. Then growing up, did we get in much trouble?
Well, the double the trouble. Well, we're menaces sometimes and all, but I think we grew up playing sports and stuff like that. You keep to yourself a little bit, I do agree with that, so, yeah.
How do you feel about being a twin overall, I like it. I do. It's nice to be kind of like a best friend in a sense, right?
There's nothing like having an extra friend, like you said, an extra person around, so, but then again, there's times where,
Oh, excuse me.
I want to knock you out. No, I'm just
I
joking.
should have said we get along otherwise, but there has been our fair share of arguments and physical altercations. Mostly when we're drinking, it used to get a lot worse.
Yeah, we won't go there. We won't talk about
Yeah,
that.
don't
That's,
bring it up. We want
it's
to talk
what
about
it is,
the good
man.
stuff. Yeah.
It's the back of the days. Just keep her nice and positive today.
Yeah. So who was born first? That's always a big question people always ask.
Well,
us.
yeah, that is a pretty big question, and I always say respect your older because that's me, Nate.
Yeah, and tell the listeners how many minutes or how long it was that you're older than me.
Well, 12 minutes, man. You respect every one of those.
Big 12 minutes. He likes to pull that one on me. Trust me, growing up.
Yeah, big 12 minutes is right, buddy. Older brother, you respect.
Still my bigger brother. Yeah.
And where'd you get your haircut at?
I did it myself, thank you.
You
Actually.
did it yourself, eh?
Yeah, right in the mirror. Straight down, no guard.
You're a nut, man.
looking like one of them jailbirds. I guess it's funny. Like, what do people do think? And I think this comes from television series and stuff. Is they seem to think that like there's some form of telepathy between the two of us. Now we do have the same like-minded thoughts, but I don't think I can read your mind, and you can't read mine like other people seem to think.
In a sense, though, yeah, no, I know that's that. Whatever you just call that, telepathy. I don't even know if that's the word. Is
Twin
that
telepathy?
is that a thing right now? Like, are we kind of? I gotta look this up. What is? Because there's no such thing as that in a sense. I do believe that we can mimic thoughts in a sense because of general likes and things like that. Like I don't think there's no such thing as twin like telepathic crap like that.
Yeah.
Telepathy. How do you spell telepathy?
How do you spell telepathy? Telepathy, and I think I spelled that right.
Twin telepathy game.
Making me sound dumb on the internet here.
What is a game? There's the challenge quiz here.
Challenge quiz.
Twin telepathy challenge quiz.
Well, let's start her up. Let's see.
Alrighty.
If it's not too much of trouble.
Okay, I'm just gonna look this over. Instructions, start live quiz, assign homework. Well, I ain't looking.
While you do that, I'll continue with talking. I wrote down some pros, I guess, man. My pros, I definitely think, like we talked about, it's a lifelong friend if you're lucky to get along, as not everybody does. You always have a roommate. I don't think that should be a con, considering you're happily in a relationship and almost married, and I live with my girlfriend. So
right. So what's the question you're asking me?
they're just the pros. They're not really questions, man. I was just saying, like, get the pros and cons. Like, what do you think some pros about being a twin is, man? Like, I said mine. You always, I have a lifelong friend. Wow. If you're lucky to get along, you got a good support system and a drinking buddy. As we're drinking the Pissweiser drink. Cheers.
Pissweiser, Budweiser. If any of you guys don't know that reference, Grand Theft Auto. No, I mean there's some positives for sure, man. Like you said, I think that's you hit it right there. You have somebody around for sure, and it's nice to have double, of course. Growing up in terms of playing sports and buying food and groceries in the house, you always had to buy 2 times. You have 2 monsters.
Mom spend what, like couple $100 or $400 or more a month.
It wasn't cheap, that's for sure. She'd buy the double and
meat and potatoes kind of guys who are big boys.
Meat and potatoes for sure. Yeah, both over 200 pounds. So that's well over that. So it ain't easy to feed a farmhouse, that's for sure.
No, I say it's, as much as there's pros, there definitely are some cons. It's not really bad thing as far as me and Nate go, but. Some of those cons for myself, I could say, would be like, we got made fun of at being twins because a lot of people were jealous growing up.
A lot of people got made fun of growing up. I think that's the way of life, but you move on.
Yeah, I know, but when you look like each other, the effects are doubled.
It is very, very true.
Right? Very true. Wearing the same clothing, we already covered this, we'll bring that up, but people calling you the wrong name. How many times have you went out in public, people thought you were me, and they thought that I was you?
Oh, for sure. I just take it off the, Yeah, so that's the thing, you get to the stores and wherever you are, and, I recently, I think I was at the gym, and one of my brother's co-workers was talking to me there, and, it's not, you kind of get into her, and you don't want to say too much, you get almost half a conversation, really, just going here and talking, and you finally go, oh, By the way, I'm Nathan. I'm Nick's brother. You might know him.
So you gotta play it off because I do that too. You know, like I've seen people that you work with, or I'm sure there are friends that you have that you've met through other places. And I have my own friends to say because you know twins don't necessarily have the same friends. Mind you, we have the same like close friend group that we always hang out with, boys. What up, guys? But you know, I said like you go out there and like they run into you, someone you don't necessarily know as well as like someone who hangs around you all the time, and and it's funny because I like to play along with it. I like to make them think that I am Nathan, and at the end, like Nathan says, I always show up and I always say like you know, hey, it's Nick. So.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What else you got on the list there?
What other questions? I thought you were gonna pop out that quiz.
Well, I think though I looked through the quiz, it didn't really make too much sense. But I'm gonna get on the topic with you. Maybe we talked about potentially maybe music. So you know,
about music.
We talk about a little bit of music.
Well, let's make best both worlds here. Do you think that the both of us have the same taste in music?
Yeah, in a sense, I would assume. I don't know. I mean, I've known you for a long time. We've been to many concerts together, which brings that up for sure.
You've known me for a long time. I'm sure we shared the same room.
Sure,
I'm roommates.
That's for sure. but no, I mean, I've always been a rock guy. I've been a metal music guy.
Yeah.
When you're in the gym, you're lifting
intro.
heavy. You need the extra pull, and you get that sound. You really need to just.
We've been a few shows together, eh? Well, how many got in total? Do you think how many concerts we've been to?
Been to quite a few. I just recall going down to Montreal when we were younger. We'd gone up to a pretty famous festival up there.
Or what, 19 when we did that?
Yeah, we're about 19, so it was my first really real kind of step at going to something like that.
That was cool. It was outdoors. You had probably 60,000 people. In one
yeah,
area.
so that was a
not very good for days now, but.
No, I mean in today's time, you wouldn't see much of that. But Heavy Montreal was headlined by Metallica, and you had Metallica there, 3 Days Grace. We had Anthrax, Twisted Sister of all bands, an old style band that come through and
Remember that? Yeah, I want to rock. Get the whole crowd saying that. Yeah, oh, that was cool, man.
I believe he said, I want to. He had the crowd saying,
yeah, just say it, buddy.
I want to fuck.
Yeah.
And he got everybody chanting, I want to fuck.
That was like one of their last concerts. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
One of their members
shit.
passed away, and he, I mean, that was pretty neat. As somebody who wouldn't have been really had an opportunity to listen to that style of music that was so, I would say back in the day, so really political in a sense that nobody, metal back then, thrash hair metal, things like that was looked down upon. It's, and compared to what we have in today's music, you would kind of laugh at that now because it's pretty light, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, nowadays you just take a mixing pad and you put auto-tune on and you start saying about the first thing you see, like you start saying about the first thing you see, like the TV on the wall, and mix that in and it makes the radio, I guess. But no, it's crazy because we've been to a lot of shows too, like mainly like we're big like Disturbed fans growing up,
yeah, Disturbed, man, they're a good band. We seen them twice.
It's kind of funny because we've been to like this. We've probably seen a few bands specifically 2 or 3 times. Excuse me, got the burps there from the beers, but we ended up like really enjoying those shows, and some we didn't, some we did. And like Nathan said, like we're a rock metal guy. But as I get older and progress, I don't know about you, Nathan. I find that for me, my music style is kind of just not. It hasn't changed. It's broadened. Like I appreciate everything.
Opened up a little bit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we get in trouble playing these tunes or not, but I'm gonna throw some on.
Some background music on.
Mm.
No, it's crazy because the more and more you get older, the more you just appreciate the little things that are in front of you and in life. So it's just, as far as music goes, I appreciate all the genres and the hard work that goes into it, and it's like that. It's weird because like with the whole twin thing, like you think we have the same taste, but there's things that Nate likes and things that I don't like. It's crazy. Like Nate's a golf fan. I couldn't be caught dead on a golf course, but I've done it.
Yeah, I do like a little bit of golfing for sure. It's relaxing. A lot of people can get frustrated. And I can see it. When you're not hitting your shots correctly. So it does suck. So
Oh, for sure. And I guess, man, the biggest thing here is, I guess, with that being said, with this show, guys, we should add this in. That, because we don't want to ramble on too much longer. We're already hitting the 15-minute mark here, but our plans are to continue to do this. I don't know how often. Get a lot better. Get likes out there. Share this, and hopefully improve along the way. As this probably is one of our first episodes that's in the archives, but that's something that we've been planning to do for a long time. And I know me and Nathan said 2022 would be the year that we, probably launch this and definitely get her out to the public and into the world there. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that wraps up the twin episode and questions. Again, always good to talk, and we will return once we have our next topic.
For sure, and check us out, Seeing-Double on Facebook and Instagram. That's probably where we'll have it. I don't know if this is going to be up on Spotify, Apple Play, or YouTube, or Twitch, anything like that. We haven't decided what platform this is going to be streamed on. But give us a like, shout us out, get a follow, hit us up on those social media platforms. And yeah, guys, hopefully you'll keep listening to us, because this is something we're super excited about for the future.
Most definitely. Well, cheers are out.
Cheers are out, buddy.